What up, YouTube? So, to help with the hangover, I'm going to have one of these. Now, last night I was doing a video response when the live stream just stopped for no reason. Like, what the shit, man? Now, before we get into part 2 of the video response, YouTube, if you think you're not good enough for someone, you probably are. However, chances are they're not good enough for you, you know? But the premises of this video response, Blair White is a man who has transitioned into a female, so now we call her a her or whatever she identifies as, you know. But drag for kids is becoming a problem. Okay, it's a little inappropriate when you have kids dressing up as slutty ass strippers, dancing in front of adults at a bar.
Children, some of them looking very young, like 5 or 6, who are giving $1 bills to the drag queens. There's a sign in the back that says it's not.
No, dude, this is not appropriate. That's just not appropriate. No one ever stops and goes, hey, isn't it bad enough we're letting kids perform drag shows in a bar in front of a bunch of drunk, obnoxious adults? Nah, that's not obnoxious enough. No, having a sign in the back of the bar that says it's not gonna lick itself in bright pink neon letters, like, no one ever stops and thinks, maybe this isn't appropriate. That maybe this is not appropriate. Like, maybe this is super inappropriate for kids, and that maybe we shouldn't be doing crap like this. You think? Maybe? And this is where it gets frustrating. You cannot have a conversation about how it might be slightly inappropriate for kids to be dressing up slutty and performing drag shows at a bar in front of drunk adults. You can't have that conversation without some asshole bigot being like, oh my god, you're just a fucking drag queen phobe.
Gonna lick itself. How?
Yeah, even the look on Blair White's face, the look on her face says it all, man. Like, why is this a thing? Bartender, fix me up.
I'm really not trying to be funny. How there was not a single adult in that building who was like, you know what? We're gonna have drag queens in front of kids, but maybe let's unplug the gigantic neon sign that's about sucking. Like, that might have been step 1, but I guess not.
You know, step 1 would have been like, okay, kids want to do drag shows? No. I disagree with pageants in general, especially if it's kids being involved. Teaching kids to rely on their looks versus their personality.
The performers in this venue are 100% dressed inappropriately around kids. They're dancing to songs that have inappropriate lyrics for such young kids. And it's so crazy that like things have gotten so far that I'm the one sitting here sounding like some, like, I don't know, traditional Christian conservative in 2003 talking about like skirts that are too short. It's like,
You know what's really fucking sad? When the when Blair White, a transgendered woman, okay, it's pretty fucking sad when you got a transgendered woman going, that's a little too far. I'm pretty progressive, but we have to draw the line somewhere. One, kids should not be in drag shows, period. Like if kids want to dress up in drag and have like a little show and they're in their bedroom like doing their thing, that's different than having a bunch of kids at a bar. Like, okay, hear me out. You are trick or treating with your kid. You stop at the bar for a couple of beers. The bartender gives your kid a non alcoholic beverage and a piece of candy. And they're in their costume because it's Halloween. That's one thing, right? But having kids go out, and this is so fucking disturbing that this beer is actually legitimately not only helping a potential hangover from happening, but it's also helping me cope with the bullshit. One second. I don't know. No one stops and thinks, hey, it's kind of inappropriate to have kids dressed up as slutty strippers dancing to inappropriate songs. It's the truth. You got you got dudes who are dressing up as chicks and they're dressed as female strippers and they're dancing to songs like Cardi B's Wet Ass Pussy. And then it's just no one stops and thinks, hey, these are children. Won't somebody think of the children? Won't somebody protect their innocence? When it's all about political points, not about protecting their innocence, there's a problem with our society when it comes to that. Now, in my last fucking video response that I made to this video, part one was pretty controversial because I said some shit that pissed a lot of people off. That's why it got deleted. Well, it didn't get deleted, but it stopped. I'm all sitting here doing the stream, and then I look, and then like out of nowhere, it's like, what the fuck? Why did my stream stop? I was on a roll, goddammit. Fucking hate sickos. Why did the stream stop? I'm not mad about my stream stopping, to be honest, because I can always pick up right where I left off. That's the beauty of video responses and doing YouTube, but the over sexualization of kids needs to stop. Like they shouldn't even be like that in the first place, man. Being a kid in the 90s was so much simpler. You didn't have teachers coming out to the second graders and making a TikTok video about that. So some lustrous perv who's watching a fucking TikTok video with kids in it is going, "Oh yeah." And you don't care if you're putting your kids' lives in danger. You don't care if it's breaking that code of professionalism. Like when I was in second grade, we didn't have the internet when I was in second grade. That could be part of the problem, but no one ever stops and goes, yeah, these are second graders. They don't have any concept of what it means to be gay or non-binary or they them. They're already growing up in a very confusing world, and you're just being inappropriate and confusing them even more. Like if you had a male teacher and they were married, they said they had a wife or whatever. Like if it was a female teacher and she had a husband, you called her Mrs. or Miss. And it was just so much easier back in my day. Being a kid in high school and in junior high was so much easier growing up as for myself personally because Kids were not bringing guns to schools whenever they got bullied back in my day. Nope. When I got bullied by the bullies and the teachers didn't do shit about it, typical school system, right? I kicked the bully's ass. I might have got suspended for fighting during school hours, but the bullies learned real quick. Saunders is not the guy to fuck with. Oddly enough, this is why I quit complaining about my dry spell. The right of age chick will come along, just gotta continue to keep being badass and a good guy and being patient. And when they say nice guys finish last, that's just the way society treats nice guys. Just so they can turn around and be like, why are all men such assholes? Ugh, sorry. It pisses me off, but that's for a different video. Don't even get me started on that. That's for a different video. Circling back to Miss Blair White, uh, drag for kids is becoming a problem. Like, okay, if kids are doing like a pretend drag show in their bedroom and they're like, I'm fabulous, oh my god, that's one thing, right? But I did it a little too well. But anyways, YouTube, no one ever stops and thinks, hey, maybe it's inappropriate to be letting kids dress up like strippers and hookers and dancing in front of adults. Like, no one ever stops and thinks that, having a drag queen for kids at a bar where adults are getting drunk and cussing and being obnoxious and all this other shit, no one ever stops and thinks that's a little inappropriate. Because we saw how wonderful story time for drag queen story time worked out. Drag queen story time for kids, we saw how well that worked out. Yeah. Stop. This is the kind of crap that, as Sydney Watson would famously put it gives me secondhand embarrassment. But like the sexualization of children, that should not exist. Like, it's disgusting that they're overly sexualized to begin with. And you know what's the problem? When you have a trans person going, hey, I'm cool with drag and being progressive, but isn't this a bit much? You have a sign in the back of your bar that says it's not going to lick itself. I mean, that just adds a level of creep to the whole drag show for kids. Like doing it at a bar, no one ever stops and thinks, what are we doing?
I've become the prude, but it's like, I'm so proud to be a prude if it involves me thinking that kids shouldn't be around.
What the fuck is this shit? Okay, at Libs of TikTok, there is a person. What the fuck is that outfit?
Involves me thinking that kids shouldn't be around.
No, dude, that outfit is so not appropriate to be wearing around kids. This is just creepy as shit. You have a drag performer, adults, wearing a uniform that shows off their ass, and they're shaking it and dancing in front of kids. At the Libs of TikTok, go fuck yourself. Nasty ass motherfuckers. Child sniffing Joe Biden's president, so it doesn't surprise me that this shit's trying to get normalized. Now, I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but you smell like young people. You want a butterscotch? It's still in the wrapper. Here you go. Just let me sniff your hair. I'm just busting balls, but all jokes aside, I agree with Joe Biden's taste in double barrel shotguns, and I agree with him in the sense that we have to do something about, gun legislation in our country that's reasonable without being strict. Because this is America after all. If you take away someone's guns, and then that's the thing of it, is Joe Biden's not taking away your guns, you fucking retards. Jesus Christ. Republicans with their AR-15s be like Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings. My precious. The assault weapons ban simply says that you can no longer sell assault weapons. But any AR-15, AK-47, what have you, that's been sold prior to the ban, YouTube, is grandfathered in. So they can't completely take them away. So just calm the fuck down. And can you blame parents? Honestly, children are being disturbed by these drag queen people, they, thems, and put into really inappropriate situations. They're getting shot up and killed in schools. And at some point, when can you say enough is enough? Won't somebody protect our children? No, can't have that conversation because you either hate guns or you're a fucking bigot. No, we can't have this conversation because either you hate guns and you're a fucking stupid typical liberal who hates guns, or you're some kind of bigot because you dare speak against anything drag or different in that category. Oh, dude.
Scantily clad, basically clown strippers dancing in front of a sign that says it's not going to lick itself. Like, I'm fine with that. If this is what it is to get old.
No, I'm not fine with that, Blair White. That's creepy as shit. Look at this. Okay. Granted, the color scheme is black and green, so okay, I'll give you points for that. But you look at this uniform and there are kids and adults in a bar. Like, dude, you're practically wearing a leotard with a thong going up your ass, practically exposing yourself to children. How the fuck is this person not on the sex offender list?
I'm fine with that. I mean, if your ass is out in front of a bunch of kids and you're dancing and taking $1 bills from them in a bar, rethink and recheck your entire existence, please. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Really quickly, you guys.
Okay, so how does that work, Blair White? Blair White's okay with people wearing these scantily clad outfits and dancing in front of kids, but the second they start accepting money for it, then she has a problem with it, man. Nah, B. No, hell no. I have a problem with it altogether. Like, kids do not need to be watching adults in scantily clad clothing dancing in drag shows. And kids, sure as hell, don't need to be in that same situation dancing for adults. Nobody stops and thinks, hey, there's a big difference between being creepy and progressive. Ugh, dude. The subject pisses me off to no end. Deep breath. It's like I said, I can't change the world can't change me, you know? It's the truth.
June 25th, this June 25th, I will be in New York City speaking with Tulsi Gabbard, Tim Pool, Zuby, a bunch of different amazing people. It's going to be an amazing lineup. You guys can get tickets in the link down in the description below, and make sure you come say hi to me because I would love to meet you guys, and this is going to be a killer event. Like, the fact that I'm on a speaking list with Tulsi Gabbard, I should recheck my existence. I should rethink my existence. This is crazy. But on to the video. You know, it's very telling that drag historically, as in up until like 5 seconds ago, was a nightclub or bar experience that is exclusively where you would see them, with the exception of some like drag brunches, which took place at bars during the day.
That's my whole point, dog. If you are a grown-ass adult and you go to a bar to see a drag show and you see other grown-ass adults dressing as drag, That is completely fucking different. And if you call me a bigot on this issue, then you support pedophiles. Fuck you. It's the truth. It's super inappropriate, dude. Like, one, kids do not need to be in a bar, let alone dressed like strippers and shaking their underage asses at adults. Just have adults with their phones like, yeah, we filming this shit. Look how progressive we are. Now, I completely disagree with Blair White in the sense of kids should not be in drag shows, period. Especially in front of adults. I don't care if they're at a bar or not. Okay? That's just not appropriate.
I think it's very telling of the level of inappropriate that a performance that is reserved exclusively for over 21 people in a nightclub is now being transferred to schools, libraries, preschools, kindergartens. Like, shouldn't that be number one red flag right there, that it's like a bar activity, but now it's for kids? Like, how do you make that leap? And I
Yeah, that I will agree with. How exactly my point. So then why the fuck would you say what you said earlier, Blair White? But exactly my point. If drag queens are like an adult activity, okay, that's like saying to your kids, oh, hey, we don't care if cigarettes are for 21 and up. Here, you little bastard, smoke up. Let me ask you this. Would you give your kids alcohol? Would you give them cigarettes? You gotta be 21 and up for that. And at this point, it's like, why not, you know? Why the fuck not? You're letting them dance inappropriately in front of adults in inappropriate, scantily clad clothing. Now, when I say that, I'm being sarcastic, of course, because no, you should not give kids. Okay, if you're not allowed to give minors tobacco and alcohol, then you shouldn't expose minors to like certain things. Like, okay, if they're doing their drag thing and they're like in their bedroom doing their thing for a TikTok video, that's a little different, you know, but like I feel like kids who are doing these drag queen shows are being forced to do it because it's the progressive narrative now, right? Our society is forcing people to accept LGBTQ plus instead of just being like, we'll let you accept it on your own terms. No, it's down your throat. And there's nothing wrong with teaching people to be tolerant of LGBTQ plus. Fuck sickos.
make it clear, I have no issue at all with drag itself as an art form. I enjoy.
Now let me ask you this question. Would children be questioning their gender if they were not forced to accept the whole ideology? Like, I'm all for supporting trans rights, but if we lived in a society that wasn't being forced to accept trans people, even though some of them are creepy as shit and it makes the whole movement look bad, no, most of them would be like, let kids be kids, man. That's all I'm saying.
In some contexts, I've been to fun drag shows. It's honestly a really fun activity towards the end of the night with your girlfriends. So you go out, you're drunk, you're going to drag bar. It's great. I used to be a really big fan of the show RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, like I get that. Okay, like if I'm an adult and I go to a bar and then I see my fellow adults dressing up in drag and I'm drunk and having a good time, exactly, that's one thing. That's different. Having a minor in a bar around drunk ass adults dressing like a fucking slut is so inappropriate, and nobody wants to have that conversation because it's like, dude. I wouldn't say drag for kids is becoming a problem necessarily so much as it is the sexualization of kids. Because being drag is not necessarily the problem. It's when you start, you know what I'm saying? Fuck sickos, dude.
The Trump era kind of ruined that for me. I don't hate the show now, but maybe it's different. But once the Trump era kind of came in, the show became a lot more political, and they were just injecting all this woke shit into it, and it just became different. It used to be more fun, lighthearted, goofy, and then all of a sudden they were stuffing these politics into it. Maybe it's different now. It's a new day. Let me know in the comments if you're a fan of that show and it's different now. Maybe I'll rewatch it. But regardless, the point is to say I am not a hater of drag. I am a hater of putting kids into situations that are sexual and inappropriate for them and their age.
Okay, so you literally just backtracked. She literally just backtracked on her statement. Okay, Blair White said she doesn't care if you're an adult dressed up in drag and you're dancing in front of kids, but the second you start accepting money from those kids, it's inappropriate. And I'm like, let's take it a step further and just say no. Like, adults and kids should not be dancing for each other like that. That's disgusting. It's inappropriate.
The argument that you see parents making for taking their kids to these events is that they're raising inclusive, tolerant, non-homophobic children by doing so. And I just feel like if you have to take your kid into an establishment where they're putting $1 bills into the underwear of a performer in order to raise them to be non-hateful, that's a bit of a reach. How about you just raise them to be nice people? Raise them to understand that there are people different than them. You should be kind to them. What part of that involves exposing them to sexual activity? What happened to your kid coming home from school, telling you that their friend at school has 2 dads, and you giving them a gentle, compassionate explanation as to why that is? Why do you...
Thank you! You are preaching to the choir, Blair White. Exactly my fucking point. What happened to the good old days, man? When your kid would come home from school and they were confused because they saw their teacher on lunch break sneaking a quick kiss with their boyfriend or girlfriend. And it's just like, I saw Miss So-and-so kissing another chick. And then your parents having that gentle but progressive conversation of, well, Jimmy, sometimes a man likes a man, a woman likes a woman. That's called being gay. And as long as you ain't a sicko, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Versus, hey guys, here's a drag show. Here she comes, the drag queen of the hour, Miss Diamond Dick. Yeah, no, that's super inappropriate, dog. Like libs of TikTok filming them kids giving these strippers basically money, and they don't strip in front of them. Thank God, but fucking, it's beside the point, man.
Straight to, well, guess that means we gotta take you to a drag show. What? Anyone who's ever been...
Okay, this is exactly, Blair White. This is my whole fucking point. If you can teach kids to be tolerant of gays and shit without forcing it down their throats and without being super inappropriate and being like, okay, Jimmy, we're gonna go to a drag show. What? Taking your son Jimmy to a drag show? Oh, you're really progressive, man. Holy shit. Meanwhile, your 8-year-old son's confused as fuck, Mommy, why does that person have a beard like Daddy but dressed like a girl? Well, Jimmy, sometimes that's called being drag or transgender or... I don't get it. People often will sacrifice the rights of other people or the safety of kids just to be quote unquote woke and progressive. And it's disgusting because this is the kind of crap that hurts the LGBTQ plus movements. If a bunch of people are going, hey, wait a minute, you're part of LGBTQ and you want us to support you, then why the fuck are you trying to sexualize kids or expose them to shit that's sexual in nature? Because you want them to tolerate gays. Yeah, that's not the way to do it. Stop it. You know that one Asian guy where he's like, stop it! You so stupid! That's exactly the truth, too.
To a drag show understands that it's very crude, it's very offensive, and it's fun because it's offensive. It has not just sexual undertones, it has sexual overtones. It's also dwindled down to naked drag queens, which are grown men, posing with underage.
Yeah, when you got... Oh my fucking god, dude, that is so creepy.
Who are also drag queens. The person in this photo is Violet Chachki. She's actually a famous drag queen who was on RuPaul's Drag Race. So as far as drag queens go,
Violet Chachki is a drag queen performer. And here you can see the person in question posing next to an underage girl wearing nothing but a piece of tape to cover their junk. Completely naked in front of a kid. Super cringe, dude. No.
She is a mainstream celebrity drag queen. In a world that makes sense, Violet would have had to not only answer for why she decided to pose naked next to an underage boy, and would have been reprimanded for it, would not be platformed anymore on VH1, would not be celebrated.
Okay, underage boys. So it's like, okay, I get it. Like, you want kids to do drag. You want to support kids doing drag. You want to support kids exploring their creative side and figuring out who their gender is. Totally get it. You know, giving kids a loving and safe environment that says, it's okay if you're gay. We will still love you the same. I get that. I'm all for it 1000%. But this crosses the fucking line. When you got this Violet fucking freak practically standing naked in front of a grown ass adult standing naked in front of a kid that's one, not theirs, and two, like, okay, there's a big difference, right? Like, if you're a mom and you haven't, like, a 1-year-old and you take a bath with them, you know, to help them stay clean, that's different. That is different. You're the parent and you're helping your kid learn how to bathe properly. That's one thing. This, no, 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 no. Stop it. Like, this photo, thank God Blair White censored it, because this is just, nope.
Anymore would have been canceled, to be honest. Cancel culture will really come for someone for something they said 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's what kills me about thank you, Blair White. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you saying that. That's exactly what I'm getting at, dude. Is cancel culture will get on you for shit you said 20 years ago, but these fucking freaks, like, I'm sorry, but I respect drag queens and LGBTQ plus, but the second they pull crap like what Violet's doing, nope, you lost my respect. Protect the innocence of the children, man.
But not for grown-ass men who pose naked with underage boys because they're drag queens? That, like, gives the pass? Like, where's the logic here?
And because you're allowing drag queens to have that pass, this is why we have a lot of pedophiles in the drag queen community, but I didn't say that. Dude, I would sacrifice all the alcohol in the world to end sickos, not just pedophiles, but like people who rape and hurt people, you know, just these these sick fucks who touch kids, babies, dead bodies, animals, children, what have you, etc. It's just the world is so miserably fucked off anymore. And that's what helps me from honestly not complaining about my dry spell, you know? You want to complain because you haven't had of age pussy in almost 5 years, but there are children out there getting raped, and it's like, stop bitching about your fucking dry spell and get over yourself. That's how I feel about it. And what I wouldn't give to fucking murdered child rapists, pieces of shit who fucking, these fucking assholes, but murder's against the law, so I digress. And that's the only reason why I don't murder pedophiles, is because murder is against the law. But how fun would it be to watch their brains just spray all over the place? Bell tower bashing, motherfucker.
Be really basic to like just be so enamored by drag and just, oh my God, it's so fabulous, that you're ignoring obviously predatory actions that are occurring.
Yeah, no shit, Blair White. Exactly my point. But a trans woman said it. Hey, a trans woman said it, so you can't call her a bigot, right? Allegedly. I'm not even at the end of the video, and I'm already like, I want another beer. I love beer. Beer is good and stuff. Hold on a second. Exactly my point. You're so enamored by the glitz and the glam and how fabulous the drag queen bullshit is that you completely ignore the predatory bullshit where it's just like, hey, okay, I'm all for teaching kids to be accepting and progressive, but having a grown-ass naked man stand next to them dressed in drag, that's a little too far. Having some kid give a drag queen dancer money, like, no, dude. If you wouldn't give your kids drugs or alcohol or cigarettes unless the doctor prescribed the drugs, it's the truth. If I ever have a kid of my own, I'm not going to start a family until I build my dream house. And my demon spawn would be kept so safe, you have no idea, man. And if my kid came to me and they were like, hey, my friends peer pressured me to try alcohol and I didn't do it, I'd be like, good job. Now, if you're ever curious about alcohol, you come talk to me, I would be an old school parent where, like, if my kid's gonna drink, I'd rather they do it underneath my roof and with, what I'm saying? And not like at someone else's house being stupid and obnoxious, That being said, if I caught my kid drinking out of my stash, I'd be like, oh, you want to have a beer like your old man, huh? Okay. Pulls out a bottle of Jack Daniels. It's like, what's that? And I'm like, this, Junior, is Jack Daniels. So it makes a man out of you. Grow some hair on that chest, boy. Pour him a shot. Like, here you go, have a shot. Oh, God. And I'm like, no, you want to drink like your old man? You gotta finish this entire bottle of Jack Daniels. No, come on, keep drinking. There you go. There you go. There you go. And the first time drinking, they puke or they get sick and they wake up with a fucking hangover. And I guarantee you they'll never want to touch alcohol again. Yeah. Ever catch my kids smoking my cigarettes? I'll make them smoke a cigar so fucking fat and so nasty it makes them sick in the stomach. And they're just like, it's like, you gonna steal my cigarettes again? You gonna steal my booze? I didn't think so.
Like, you can't see that because you're just so blinded by, like, oh my God, drag queen. Like, drag queens ain't that special, girl. Oh, and speaking of queens from Drag Race, you're actually
oh, drag queens ain't that special, girl. Psh, shit. And you think Oh, look at that. Blair White floating above the drag queens because she fully transitioned, or not quite, allegedly. She might still have the penis. Quite frankly, I don't care. I just do not care. Like, girl, you ain't that special. Shh. Why? Because you're a chick and chicks can't handle competition? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but here we are in the video again where it's like, really, Blair White? Now, isn't that funny how the trans community is like, we're sick and tired of people judging us? And here's Blair White telling these drag people, you ain't that special. You ain't that special. Well, neither are you, bitch. How does it feel? How does it fucking feel? Oh, wait, Cobra can't say that because, oh my God. Like, as long as you ain't a sicko, who gives a fuck? This is what I've been preaching on my channel for the longest time, especially in the last couple of days. Who the fuck is Blair White, dude? Like, oh, you ain't shit. You ain't that special. And it's like, girl, calm down with your narcissistic ass. God damn. Just calm down, man.
Segments on the show that, like, how it passed the people who were supposed to say, actually, this is inappropriate, we can't air this on TV, like, past all those people, I don't know. There's a segment where Aquaria and Eureka O'Hara, those are both famous drag queens from the show, were posing as sexy babies.
I look like Linda Evangelista. I'm a model. I can walk one way in a diaper, and
because there's nothing sexy about being like that. This, God damn it, dude. Oh, my eyes. You know that one fish in SpongeBob when Patrick Star opens up his mouth and Patrick Star's breath is so putrid, the fish is just like, my eyes! And I'm like, no, we're not going to start sexualizing infants. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
eat me.
So this was a comedy sketch, but
Oh, God, that's so disturbing. Nope. No, breaking the bottle. Okay, stop. Breaking the bottle and stabbing it into my eyes isn't going to solve anything. Just calm down. Straight up, that's just like, dude, no. No, dude. Like, whatever happened to a society where it's like, you know, that one comedian, I forget his fucking name, but he's Italian. I'm subscribed to him on YouTube. He's funny as fuck. I can't remember his fucking name. Okay, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Hold up. You know, like back in my day, you know, it's like if you were a hard rocker, people gave you shit for having long hair regardless. So it's like, what's his fucking name? I know the guy in the bit that I'm looking for, so let me just... Yeah, there we go. Sebastian, this guy. Adult baby dress up, Sebastian... No, I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to try and pronounce that.
If somebody wanted to do an investigation into Christianity, where would...
This internet, there's something for everybody, right?
This guy's fucking hilarious. This Sebastian guy, oh my god, you guys, you don't even know.
That's some weird fetish, some weird thing you do? Look at how weird it just got in here, huh? Some of you are into this type of behavior. But if you like something weird, if you're an adult, you like to dress up as a baby, there's a website for you.
I'm like, okay, you know what? No, it's not fucking normal, okay? I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to be that one guy, but if you're an adult and you like to dress up as a baby, grow the fuck up. You are a grown-ass fucking adult. Well, says the guy who wears a spiked collar, fuck you. You don't see me dressing up like that. Even though my trolls have photoshopped me to look like one because they think making fun of my autism is funny, but joke's on you, I got 40,000 subscribers.
30 years ago, if you like to dress up as a baby, nobody knew that.
Exactly my point. 30 years ago, when if you like to dress up as a baby, nobody knew about that crap, man. Like, you did that shit in the comfort of your own home. And now you got people doing, oh my god, dude.
Did that in the privacy of your own home. If you ever came out of your house with a diaper on, your neighbor would go, look at this shit, call the FBI, get this shit out of the neighborhood, right?
Like, exactly. 30 years ago, if you would have pulled this crap, people would have been like, that's just Bob the baby. What? Yeah, his name is Bob. He's a 45-year-old virgin male. And, well, he couldn't find a girlfriend. He's really lonely and seclusive, and he has this thing. A thing, you say. Yeah, Bob likes to dress like babies. What? Bob likes dressing like a baby? Well, ain't that a dude? I mean, it kind of crosses the line when you're so stuck on your video game, you have to wear a gamer diaper. Like, no, man, I gotta get all the hours in. And it's like, dude, I like to play video games. But at some point to yourself, you have to ask, are the video games becoming a problem? If you're wearing a fucking diaper because you don't want to get off your gaming chair, you're so wrapped up in this online match of Call of Duty that you're just like, god damn it. Fuck, I got sniped. Who the fuck sniped me? I got you, you freaking bastard. Like, oh my god, voice trolling. No, but it's the truth. I'm not trying to be that one guy that's like super close-minded about this, but it's a little fucking weird, dude. I'm sorry, but it is. Like, okay, you know what? Okay, sincerely. If you're a dude, you want to cross-dress, or you're in drag, or you dress up like a female, you do it for attention, you do it because you identify as a female, psh. Okay, fine. But dressing up as a goddamn baby and identifying as one when you are a grown-ass adult is like someone didn't have a childhood. Oh.
It was handled.
Right, because Bob the baby came out in his fucking goddamn cul-de-sac like, hey, neighbor, how you doing? It's like, Bob? What's up, man? You do realize that you're dressed like a baby? Yeah, so? It's a little weird, like, what? Even when your girlfriend tries to do baby talk with you, like she's trying to be cute, it's just like, no, it's not fucking cute. She's sitting there going, I love you. It's like, you are a grown-ass fucking adult, okay? There's nothing cute about that shit. Babies are fucking gross. You know, babies are like STIs. It's a consequence from having sex, and sometimes you're stuck with them for life. Thank Lucifer, I'm a dude. I don't know how chicks do it, man. I got so much respect for women. I'm not trying to, fuck off with the simp shaming, the white knight shaming bullshit. That's another thing, too. It's like, dude, YouTube. Women are sick and tired of asshole men not feeling like they're not good enough for a real man. But then the second the man tries to show her, hey, you're worthy, you'll find someone, tries to treat her with a little bit of fucking respect, he gets called a goddamn simp. You're just white knighting. And the dude sitting there going, is this what it feels like to be slut shamed? God, now I know how chicks feel. All of a sudden now dudes are treating women like crap because it's like, well, society says all women want is assholes. And every time I try to be nice to them, I get simp shamed. But then at the same fucking time, you hear the same women go, why can't they find a decent guy? It's fucking frustrating. And then you got these fucking weirdos who think it's appropriate to just fucking do this crap with kids, with the drag queen bullshit. And it's like, when does it stop? Like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Because of the amount of bullshit and mental anguish in our society. It's like, our society has completely gone off the rails. This is beyond Crazy Train. Going off the rails on a crazy train. This is beyond Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. This is just fucking batshit crazy. At some point, you'd have to be like, yeah, whatever happened to protecting a childhood's innocence and being a better person? And why do people suck? Now, when I see good people getting taken advantage of, pisses me off. I'm like, the world is so fucking shit anymore. Nobody cares about anyone. It's all about me, 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 right? That's how it is with our world anymore. No one ever stops and cares and says, hey, it's all about me, they, them, all about their pronouns, all about how they feel, and fuck everybody else, right? When's the last time you ever held the door for someone just because, you're a courteous fucker, like, And this Sebastian guy is one of my favorite comedians. This guy's funnier than shit. Like, this is Bob the baby. It's okay, he never found a wife or a girlfriend, and he's 45, but he's got the mind of a 9-year-old. Oh, he's one of those. Yeah. Right. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to be a dick, because I know I get made fun of for dressing goth, but, like, if I saw a grown-ass adult dressed like a baby, I would laugh my ass off. I'd be like, this is silly. And if they really identify as a baby, I'd be like, you got some issues, my guy, or your childhood really sucked and you're repressing it by reacting it out as an adult. That's just Psychology 101, YouTube. How the fuck are you gonna call women the fairer sex when men are biologically stronger genetically, and on top of that, the crap women have to go through because they give birth to children? Are you doing it to be ironic? Like, the fairer sex? How the fuck is that unfair? You know what? They should call them the unfair sex, because Mother Nature is a sexist bitch. But I didn't say that. No. No, I got a fucking text message from one of my people. I don't know who the fuck the number was, but apparently women's farts stink more than men, and they can do it longer. And then the text message read, anything a woman can do, a man can do, or blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I messed that up. Blah. They were like, anything a man can do, a woman can do better. And I'm like, really? Can we stop making it about gender, please? Anything a woman can do, a man can do better. Anything a man can do, a woman can do better. Shut the fuck up with that crap. Because you know what that fucking looks like? You know, you and your girlfriend are on the couch, Netflix and chilling. You know, you got your bowl of popcorn, and then your girlfriend lets out a cute little fart, and you're just like, nice one, babe. And then you, of course, being your typical chauvinistic, can't let a woman beat me, brainwashed by society with that mentality, man. You're like, oh yeah? And then you fucking rip ass a little bit hard. It's a little bit louder than what she had. And she's like, nope, she's not going to be boasted by the man. That's a stupid competition to get into. That competition only ends when your boyfriend ends up shitting his pants. Because he can't let a woman out-fart him. No, because who would give a fuck that Chad's girlfriend farted louder than he did?
But today, just throw it up in the Google. I like to dress up as a baby. Next thing you know, they're at the Hilton on a Saturday with 863 people that like to do this shit.
Now, if I'd walked into like a Hilton or like a Motel 8 or like, some kind of fancy hotel with like some big convention lobby, and I saw a bunch of grown-ass adults dressed like babies, I'd be laughing my fucking ass off. I'd be on the fucking floor laughing hysterically. Like, what the fuck is this shit? And they look at me all seriously and put their hands on their hips like, we're serious, damn it. This is how we identify. I'd be like, stop. Stop. Okay, it's one thing if you're like 95 to 100 years old and you have to wear Depends because you crap your pants because you're so old. Okay, that's life. That is life. That is life in a bitter nutshell. That sucks. But taking it a step further and being like, yeah, that person likes to cosplay as a baby. It ain't that special. Dude.
I thought I was getting.
It's the truth. Get that a like because the Sebastian guy is funny as shit. Okay.
Way. Eureka O'Hara was one of the people protesting outside of Netflix against Dave Chappelle for making trans jokes. But
Okay, Dave Chappelle makes fun of you know what pissed me off about Dave Chappelle getting canceled? Is this motherfucker makes fun of everybody. The dude comes out as gay, he makes a couple of jokes, and trans people are going off about how they want to be included and they want to be treated as equals. Well, if you want to be treated as equals, then Dave Chappelle should be allowed to make fun of your ass. Well, we can make fun of, like, straight people, white people, cisgendered people. Dave Chappelle even makes fun of his own color. Like, Dave Chappelle makes fun of black people. He makes fun of white people. That's what makes Dave Chappelle so freaking funny. But no, Dave Chappelle got canceled because he did jokes about trans people. So I heard Caitlyn Jenner got a classic car. Yeah? What kind of classic car did she get? A Trans Am. Oh shit. That joke was tasteful. Come on. That was
On screen, sexualizing babies.
And to have something like Dave Chappelle's special not be noted that it's promoting discrimination and hate conversation is very hurtful to the activism and the cause.
Says
We're
the
trying to progress
asshole.
ourselves.
Oh, dude, no, you should.
I am to give a pass for comedy. I am. But how you can be such a hypocrite that you don't understand that maybe there are worse implications and things that you're projecting into society when you're
Thank you.
sexualizing being a baby, even if it's for fun, than Dave Chappelle making trans jokes.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. If Blair White can look at Dave Chappelle's trans jokes and go, this motherfucker's funny, haha, it says you can laugh at yourself. But no, the asshole who's sexualizing really inappropriate shit is attacking Dave Chappelle. Speaking of babies, Cobra needs his bottle. Wah. That was a joke, by the way, because Cobra is a grown-ass adult. The trolls love to text me shit like this. Did Cobra get his bottle, you overgrown autistic man, baby? Wah. And it's like, how fucking miserable are you that you're just like, I hate Cobra so much, and I'm gonna try as hard as I can to harass him. And all I did was make him more famous. It's like if you're a troll and you're jealous of how famous King Cobra is, you would think to yourself, yeah, I'm going to stop trolling him because that's only making him more famous. You got people who are going, Cobra's a good dude. I feel sorry for him because his trolls are assholes. And that's the kind of crap that makes people go, you know what? That's why I watch Cobra's videos, because he keeps it real. Yeah. The look again, even Blair White, she's just like, why is this? Stop, dude.
Priorities. Please. It also kills me that they do this in middle schools because as I'm putting on the screen right now, there's this drag performer that came to a middle school. This is probably the most covered up drag queen I've ever really seen. They usually are wearing less. But even this, there's no way a student in that middle school could show up to school wearing anything that short and not get sent home wearing a muumuu and suspended for a week. So
exactly my point. And yeah, schools have dress codes for a reason. Although when you're a horny ass high school kid, you think the dress codes are bullshit, and you know. But let's be realistic. Are the girls going to follow the dress code? Oh, fuck no. If the dress code says, welcome to our high school, you have the right to a harassment-free education. Our dress code says, no cleavage, no belly shirts, no showing off your butt crack. Every chick who's got hips, an ass, and some tits is going to show it off. And these days, it's like, now women have the power to be like, if their school principal says, Miss So-and-so, that's not appropriate dress attire for school. And if the principal just happens to be a male, she can be like, oh my God, you're sexually harassing me. Stop staring at my body, you creepy old man. And then if she takes it even further, she can have that asshole fired because, female privilege. And you know what? I respect it because women are boss like that. Dude, if I had that kind of privilege, come on, dude. You know for a fact that if men had that kind of privilege, that they wouldn't abuse it. Some bitch is giving them the nag in the business and, Hey, Your Honor, that woman sexually harassed me. Straight to jail. Fuck you.
They think it's appropriate to bring in an adult performer to perform for the kids wearing something shorter than they're allowed to wear themselves at school.
Yeah. Even though that drag queen, had more clothes on than any of these individuals that we've seen in this video. The fact that they're wearing, exactly, Blair White, the fact that they're wearing a fucking skirt that's shorter than any of the girls or boys would be allowed to wear at school, and then being told you have to watch it and support it, otherwise you're a bigot. And it's like, you know what? People are going to be assholes. They're going to be homophobic. You can't change that. That's what sucks about the world. You know? We're going to have all these problems. And it's just like, you can't change people. All you can do is change yourself. You know? A side topic. I find myself relating to Ozzy Osbourne's music, not just because I'm one of his biggest autistic fans, but because, you know, the music he tells, like, it's real, dude. It's not like anyone can write a song about going to the club and pissing on bitches and drinking and getting drunk, but like, that's not music, you know.
Again, people are just like blinded by the fact that it's drag queens. Like, I don't understand why people are so fucking amazed by it.
And you know what kills me about it? It's like, oh, you're one of Ozzy Osbourne's biggest fans, so you grow your hair out long to mimic your idol, you know. And people are like, oh my God. And automatically it's like your gender's being questioned and your sexuality's being questioned. And you're like, dude, I'm a rock and roll rebel. Fuck off.
Many better, more productive, more educational ways of teaching kids to not be homophobic than that. I was raised to respect.
You would think that there are better and more appropriate ways to teach kids to be less homophobic, but our society's too retarded to just be like, it can't be some, it's got to be all or nothing. So it's like, okay, you know, subtleties and that sort of thing. And like, this is just art. And think about it. The reason why they're doing this crap is because it deliberately makes people hate LGBTQ+. Think about it. This is the kind of crap that deliberately makes people hate LGBTQ+. And a couple of straight people are pissed that LGBTQ is starting to get rights. So, in some weird twisted social experiments, or like just, I don't know, you know how life happens kind of thing. Instead of being like, okay, you know what? These are second graders and we can see your ass through your mesh and you're shaking that in front of them. Nope.
People, lesbians, people of any racial minority. And it didn't require my parents taking me to a strip club or to a burlesque show or a Chippendales or a drag show to do it. That wasn't really.
Thank you. Like, you can, exactly what did she say? Hold up. Rewind that.
Gay people, lesbians, people of any racial minority. And it didn't require my parents taking me to a strip club or.
Exactly. You can teach your kids to be tolerant without taking them to a strip club,
a burlesque show,
a drag show,
or a Chippendales or a drag show,
or a drag
to
show,
do it. That wasn't really part of the equation. And you know what? I ended up fine. Okay, I didn't end up fine, but whatever. Can you honestly say that this is an appropriate performance for kids in a middle school? And that if this were a biological female, a burlesque dancer, a stripper, a Chippendales dancer, that you would feel differently or the same? Like, let me know in the comments, because to me, I don't see a huge difference from it.
Watching this TikTok right here, at Libs of TikTok, you see some person wearing black and green, and I'll give them props for the color scheme, but that's it. And they got like literally a leotard with the leotard literally going up their ass crack, showing off their ass, and they're sitting there shaking it in front of kids, and the kids are walking up to them, giving them money for it. And I'm like, okay, no. Cleveland Browns said it best. No, damn. Oh, that's just nasty. No, we gotta protect our kids. Oh, that's nasty. Loretta, that's nasty, Loretta. Donna! Oh, hell no.
At all. There's a preschool in Massachusetts doing this right now. There's a bar in Texas and Dallas doing this with the underage kids. Speaking of the bar in Texas, this is the performer they hired off Instagram.
What? Hold up. Drag the Kids to Pride, a family-friendly drag show. Oh, barf. Like, okay, when I was a kid, I learned to accept drag queens through humor. Okay? As a kid, growing up, I had no concept of drag or trans or gay or any of that or straight or whatever. I was just a kid. Okay? I knew I liked girls because of the cartoons I would watch. Freakazoid. I ain't going down there, smell like poo gas. But Freakazoid, Cobra Queen's on a rampage. Yeah. One of my favorite cartoon villains was definitely Cobra Queen from Freakazoid, or Poison Ivy from Batman. Harley Quinn's pretty cute too, right? Thorn from the Hex Girls. I grew up watching Sailor Moon as a kid. You know, so like, yeah, I also grew up watching Tenchi Muyo. I pretty much grew up watching like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and just being an anime nerd, you know? Last time on Dragon Ball Z, a bunch of men got pissed off and started screaming at the top of their lungs, and then their shirt ripped off. Find out what happens next time on Dragon Ball Z. But no, all jokes aside, drag the kids to Pride. Okay, if it feels like a drag, like, like I said, dude, forcing kids to be tolerant of gays versus letting them learn to be tolerant. This is the kind of crap mixed with the inappropriate behavior of drag queens posing nude or dancing inappropriately in front of kids. That with forcing kids to accept it. And if they feel uncomfortable by it, which naturally they would, because it's like, I don't wanna, Stewie Griffin, I don't wanna, they get called a fucking phobe and they get grounded by their parents. So it's like they don't want to be grounded. So they go along with it because it makes everyone happy, right? And that's how they groom kids, dude, straight up. It's fucked. There are pedophiles who want to make it legal to fuck kids because the gays have a thing, and fuck you to the moon. Burn the map. Yikes. So you have a woman here, the Lady Virgin Hotels Dallas. And you see a colored woman with a, oh yeah, dude.
To perform at the club for kids. Now, granted,
No, okay, that, I hope she wasn't wearing that when she performed in front of them kids. like sexuality, it's all normal, it's all part of life, but like time and a place, my dudes and dudettes, my fellow demons and potential cobra angels. You know, my fellow demons and angels, look, it just gets to a point where it's like, can we just not do this? Like, can we preserve childhood innocence for a little bit longer? That nobody stops and think, hey, you know what? I'm all for teaching kids to be progressive and tolerant, but having a grown ass man shaking his shaved ass in some kid's face while your kid gives him $1 because yay, progressivism. At some point I have to go, when do we like draw the line, you know?
Performer wear that exact same outfit for the kids? I assume not. I would hope not. But it's just the fact that like you see this person's social media and that's the person you pick to come perform in front of kids. Like I don't.
I agree. I don't understand what makes people think, hey, we want to teach our kids to be tolerant of LGBTQ, transgender, drag plus rights, as long as you ain't a sicko, that kind of thing. I know, let's pick the most scantily clad drag performer we can find. Meanwhile, do you think the kids in high school give a fuck about being progressive when it's like, oh hey, we don't gotta sit in class? Fuck it. Now, back in my day, look at the hiccups. Excuse me. Back in my day, if you wore a dress to school, you got your ass kicked and bullied. It doesn't make it right. Fuck no, it don't. You know, but at the same time, it's like between that and then like parents who are just forcing it down your throat, like you better accept it. You're sitting there going, ah. And the parents themselves that are forcing it down their kids' throats, 50% of them don't give a shit about progressive rights. They just give a fuck about what everybody else thinks about them. So they gotta have the perfect kid and be so progressive and have the perfect life. That's exactly how it is.
People are stupid. Speaking of the
People are stupid? Blair White. I'll drink to that. 1 second. People are stupid? Blair White, I'll drink to that. Yeah.
who put these events together, there is a literal precedent of actual predators putting these events together. In Houston,
Teaching your kids to be tolerant of gay rights and what have you versus using the same platform to justify your sick, disgusting perversions. Like, okay, there is a big difference between two grown-ass adults wanting to suck each other's dicks, and they're doing it in the comfort and privacy of their home, and it's consensual. Who are you to judge? Kids are not mature enough to consent to that crap. That's why pedophilia is gross. And it's the truth, because when I was a kid, having the hormones, as a horny ass teenager, it's all you can think about, right? Like, yeah. But then once you've had it and you matured a bit, you realize, oh God. No one's at that age is mature enough to handle sex, man. And believe me, I had a lot of really hot teachers, and even hotter classmates. Yeah.
2 drag queen story hour performers or actors.
Yeah, that doesn't help the situation when you have second drag queen story hour reader in Houston, Texas, exposed as a convicted child sex offender. That doesn't. Oh boy. I care about gay rights and trans and LGBTQ rights, so I bitch about this because this is the crap that genuinely makes LGBTQ look bad. You know? Like, that's why I love my gay pride shirt that I have on my customized girl. It says, leave the grooming to your pets. Stop grooming kids. And then on the back it says, hashtag fuck sickos, hashtag support LGBTQ rights. Because it ain't right, dude. There were children out there who are afraid to come out because of all this bullshit. And I'm like, even back in my day, I would listen to bands and still do. Okay, show love for my favorite bands kind of thing. Like, I listen to Cradle of Filth, and if you are familiar with them, Danny Filth and the band, they put on like goth makeup, and like Kiss or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah. To a degree, I get why dudes like to, would I wear corpse paint? Yeah, if I had the time and patience to apply it. If I could get contacts that made my eyes look all black and demonic, I'd walk around town like, that'd be the shit, dude. But that's all right.
Arrested after being exposed as sex offenders, but were still allowed around the kids.
Right? It's like, hey, motherfucker, if you're exposed as a sex offender, you should be chemically castrated. Call it, you know what I'm saying? Call it for what it is. It's the fucking truth. You want my solution for pedophiles and sick fucks? First-time offenders get chemically castrated and a minimum of 20 years in prison. Second-time offenders get hunted like white-tailed deer. And that should go for all sickos, dude. Fuck them. Fuck the Forbidden Five.
It's okay because it's drag. Recently, a former school counselor who was
No, just because it's no. Shut the fuck up with that. Blair White's being sarcastic, but just because you're in drag, that makes it worse, dude. It makes it worse because you're fucking with the LGBTQ plus movement and making them look bad. Former school counselor accused of having sex with a teen student, police say. Oh, it's a female. She'll get off white. What are you worried about? And believe me, I had a lot of hot female teachers growing up. I ain't gonna lie. God damn, some of them female teachers. It's like you get to that age when you start experiencing boners and you're just like, would you like to come up and answer the question? Like, no, I would not. Haha, Saunders has got a boner. It's like, you get him too, asshole. Mine's bigger than yours. What are you laughing at, bitch? That being said, it's a natural part about being a man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the same time, your dick does not define your manhood. It's your actions as a man. You feel me, YouTube? That being said, fellas, stop thinking with your dick and start thinking with the head on your shoulders. You get to be about 30, 31, 32. You stop thinking with your dick and start thinking with the head on your shoulders. And all of a sudden it's like, hey.
Charge of drag queen events at that school was arrested for having a relationship with a student. I mean, it's incredible for this to be such a new thing and for there to already be this many arrests in that genre of entertainment.
Let alone the amount of arrests, the amount of people arrested who worked at Disney. Dude, the amount of people that have been arrested for being pedophiles and working at Disney is alarming. The numbers are staggering. Since 2012, it's been a real shit show. Like, ugh. What is this, the creepiest place on the world? Like, dude, stop. Disney calls themselves the happiest place on earth, and it's like, more like the creepiest place on earth. Ugh.
Entertainment. And I'm not sitting here trying to say that everyone who is involved in making these events happen is a predator, because I honestly think you can kind of attribute most of it to absolute stupidity. And like I said, these bored, like, lived out mothers who are just like enamored by drag, that's what's really going on. But
I agree with that, Blair White. Yeah. People are bored, people are stupid, people are disgusting, and it's just like, hey, like, would you give your kids cocaine? Real talk. Of course you wouldn't. You'd be like, isn't sugar enough? Of course not. Most reasonable people are going to be like, you have sugar, you don't need crack on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So it's like, why? Okay, if you would not let your child smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol or do cocaine or smoke weed or what have you, why the fuck would you let them go to a drag show where adults are being super sexual and inappropriate? Sexuality is a part of our society, whether you like it or not, but time and a place. Like, growing up as a kid, watching Tenchi Muyo and, Sailor Moon, it was, you know what I'm saying, like, back in the day, like, compared to, like, that's pretty tame compared to, like, taking your kid to a drag show and being like, okay, Billy, you're about to see some really weird shit, man. Daddy, why the hell does that person have a beard like you but dressed like a mommy? Well, Billy, that's called being trans. Of course, they might be just doing it because they like drag. I don't want to assume stuff now, because that might offend the progressives. And nobody's scared about offending progressives. Like, let's be real about that. Boy, howdy, gas is getting expensive anymore. $5 a gallon, am I right? Fuck me. Oh, fuck.
it's obviously been identified by actual predators as a very easy way to get their foot in the door, and they're taking the opportunity. Is there really any other circumstance?
Yeah, instead of continuing to stigmatize sickos, instead of doing that shit, you're allowing them to get a foot in the door because, well, if gays are allowed to have a thing, and it's like, fuck you. Okay, just because two grown-ass men want to suck each other's dick because they're gay for each other, or like two women want to lick each other's pussies out, you know what I'm saying? That's a big difference between two consenting adults and some weirdo who wants to fuck his dog. Like this here is Bill. He really likes golden retrievers. What? Well, okay, yeah, Bill, he has pronouns. He identifies as they, them, dog, kin, golden retriever. And, well, we got him a golden retriever to help with his therapy, but he kept on trying to eat the dog's poop and fucking have sex with the dog. So we had to lock Bill up in a mental asylum. You know, because, yeah. Like, I can understand loving dogs, you know, and being an animal lover, you know, but there's a big difference between Betty White, animal lover, versus you sick bestiality act piece of shit. That's why it's called doggy style.
Which a predator is able to get on stage, dressed half naked, interact with children, oftentimes on stage, and just have all their mothers just, oh my god, yes, oh my god.
So progressive. Right? Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. Exactly my fucking point, Blair White. You got these liberal fucking moms, these liberal and not all liberals are like this. I feel like liberals get a bad name because of the progressive wannabe assholes who are so fucking progressive that, oh, it's like, hey, there is a naked man wearing nipple pasties, nipple clamps, and nipple pasties while they're on stage in a fucking thong wearing a wig and female makeup, and it's called drag. And it's like they're sitting there and their tassels are going, woo, 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 woo. Yeah, there's a fucking image for you, right? And kids are watching this crap going on stage and dancing with them, and it's just like, no. You already crossed the line when you brought kids into it. Even if they're not trying to necessarily, you know, do stuff to kids, it's still a little inappropriate to have convicted predators on stage dancing with kids in drag, practically naked, and if you say anything against it, you're a bigot. You're some kind of phobe, and it's just like, I'm gonna hit this vape. One second.
So tolerant, oh my god. It's like sickening.
It's sickening. Like, you know, there's, like I said, YouTube, there's a big difference between being tolerant and being perverted. And society often at times fails to see that. And when you see stories like this where it crosses the line multiple times, that's the kind of crap that makes people go, ugh. That's the kind of crap that makes people hate the LGBTQ+.
I've seen people taking these kids to these events and then defending it by saying, well, you know, other parents take their kids to Hooters, which, first of all, I don't like very young kids going to Hooters either. So just because something else is bad doesn't mean something else is okay.
Yeah, but, hold up. Taking your kids to Hooters versus taking them to a drag show. Not trying to be that guy, but there is a difference. You don't see the Hooters waitresses shaking their asses in front of underage kids. Even though Hooters is kind of degrading with the way they force women to dress, especially with their uniform regulations, or now it's not even shorts. Now they're practically wearing underwear, and it's like, you know what? I can appreciate a healthy of-age female ass, but what was wrong with just regular booty shorts? You know, it left a little bit of mystery. That's what made it sexy. It was like, if you go to a Hooters restaurant and they're wearing booty shorts that are tight, yeah, you can see it, but it left a little bit of mystery, and that's, yeah. Not trying to be a dick, YouTube, but there's a big difference between taking your kid to a Hooters restaurant versus taking them to a burlesque drag queen show, you know? And when you look at these drag queen shows, there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's sexual perverted shite, and it's like the kind of place that kids do not belong. Like, I've never been to a Hooters, personally speaking, YouTube. And I wasn't complaining about the uniforms in the first place. Like, who the fuck was just like, oh, hey, by the way. The uniforms were short enough, man. Holy fuck. Those poor girls gotta spend 8 hours a day with a fucking wedgie. And I'm like, duh, dude. How the fuck do women wear underwear like that creeps up their ass crack? Like, yeah, it looks good on an of-age woman, but at the same time, it's like, that looks so uncomfortable, dude. To have a constant wedgie for 8 hours, and then you can't just pull it out of your ass crack while you're on the floor, like, nope, because then they'd be like, hey, 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 Diamond, what? We saw you picking out your wedgie, go wash your hands. Okay.
The first thing. Come on, miss whataboutism. But I also wonder, like, have these people actually been to Hooters? Because...
And it's like, okay, just because like, what, really? What do parents back in my day were like, well, just because all the kids are jumping off the cliff, does it mean you're going to do it too? Like, okay, just because a couple of asshole parents who are perverted and shouldn't have kids are taking their kids to a drag queen show, doesn't mean you have to. If all the sheep jump off the cliff, does that mean you have to as well?
I wouldn't take a young kid to Hooters because it is still, a bit provocative, but it's been a lot more tamed down over the years, by the way. Those uniforms do not get smaller. They get bigger over the years. Like, there's...
Bullshit! What article have you been reading? Yeah. Now, the closest Hooters we have would probably be in Cheyenne, but I digress. I've seen stories on the social media of Hooters waitresses complaining about the uniforms being too short. But I digress. It's like, well, here's the thing of it, honey. If you don't like the short uniforms, then work for a company that doesn't make you wear those things, Because if you say if you're a Hooters waitress and that's degrading to women kind of thing, there's going to be at least one woman that says, It's not degrading, it's empowering because we choose to wear these uniforms. Right. Because capitalizing off of sex is totally not the easiest way to make money, he said sarcastically. Some poor bastard just divorced his wife, and him and his buddies are like, hey man, what? Hey man, what? Let's go to Hooters and grab some beer. Fuck your ex-wife. Hooters, come here when you're sick of your ex-wife. That should be their slogan, right? That being said, I would love to try Hooters. Not just because of the hot chicks, but like the food looks appetizing. I'm just a bar food kind of guy. I like beer and wings. Sue me. Fuck sickos, dude.
Of the women showing. And then also, like, I wouldn't take a kid, but it's also not the same as this. And then
I like when Alicia Rhodey won Miss Hooters beauty pageant. I felt like a royal dick for trying to hit on her, but now looking back on it, I don't care because that's what alphas do, man. That's what alpha males do, man. They're like, I don't give a fuck how hot the chick is, I'm still gonna try. I may have been rejected by every chick that I like. However, I do not let that stop me from talking to women. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you may think to yourself, you're not good enough for that person. I say I disagree. When women get over their God, they assholes phase, it's the truth. Whenever you hear a woman complain about how all the good-looking men are taken, nobody says shit. But the second a man says all the good-looking women are taken, he's a fucking pig, right? Fuck you. Whenever you hear a man whine because all the good-looking women are taken and he can't find a decent woman, he's a fucking pig and he's shallow for validating women for their looks. But when women say it, nobody says shit. Because women have the vagina. That's why no one says shit.
oh, well, they'll put their kids in toddlers and tiaras pageants. Yeah, those are gross too. So is your only defense that, like, well, we're taking our kids to this incredibly inappropriate thing, but other parents take their kids to other inappropriate things, so it's okay. We can just all do it. No. How about you stop being a shitty parent? And make no mistake.
Stop being a shitty parent, exactly.
I'm absolutely making the declaration that if you are taking your kid to throw $1 bills on a glorified stripper clown, you're a bad parent. There are very few times I actually feel the license to say that someone is a bad parent because I'm not a parent, and I think that's just such a unique experience that I could never relate to. But this is a scenario where I'm like, you know what, that's a bad parent. Sometimes it's just that cut and dry. And it's really hard to invalidate all the groomer discourse of people saying that there are groomers co-opting the LGBT community to prey on kids. It's very hard to say, like, that's totally not true when you have shit like this. And with most things like this, it's just so much more about the parents wanting to pat themselves on the back because they're just so inclusive. And they're just raising such little angels that are such, like, open-minded, smart kids. Well, guess what? Sometimes when you're that open-minded, there's nothing keeping your brain from falling out.
Like, you cannot tell your kids to say, you have to be open-minded, but when it comes to things like drugs and alcohol, no, don't do that, kids. But hey, be open-minded to this other stuff. Kids are going to be more likely to do those things if you're pushing this narrative on them.
that's the case here, Miss Girl. Gently explain to your kid why their friend Timmy has 2 dads at school? Do it. Taking your kids to throw $1 bills on a stripper clown? Don't do it. With that being
No shit. Yeah, exactly my point, Blair White. Like, okay, your kid comes home from school and they're like, oh, hey, their classmate has 2 dads, and they're confused and they're weirded out by it, so you just gently sit them down and explain to them that, that's just how some people roll. You can teach kids to be tolerant of gays without taking them to strip clubs and stuff like that. You feel me, YouTube? And how would you do it? Ice cream. No, like, what kid doesn't like ice cream? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the truth. And it's like, okay, so how many of you little rugrats like ice cream? Raise your hand. Oh, I do, I do, I do. And then they all raise their goddamn hands. I'm like, all right. So how would it feel if you got bullied for liking ice cream? Because there are some people who don't like ice cream. They're lactose intolerant. Which that would suck to be lactose intolerant. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Because kids are naturally, they love sugar. Like, you shouldn't give kids sugar. That's like giving a crackhead crack. But anyways.
that is all I have to say on this messy, messy topic. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the
Oh, it's beyond messy. It's just fucking mental anymore, YouTube.
as well as my podcast channel. I'll put a link somewhere on the screen for you to do that. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and stream my podcast, The Blair White Project, on all platforms you get your podcasts on. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all that. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.
And you have to remind yourself, that used to be a dude. No, thank you. Like, I support Blair White's right to be trans and to be a woman, but I'm not gonna date her. Like, that used to be a dude. That's what turns me off about trans women. It's like, you used to be a dude. In the back, that's always gonna be in the back of your mind. You're like, nope. I don't give a fuck how convincing it is. It's the thought of, you used to be a dude. They can't say that because that makes you a bigot. So, like, what the fuck? Hold on. Excuse me. I had an hour-long video I made last night, and then, like, halfway through the video, it just stopped on me, and I'm like, seriously? I was in the middle of a good rant. I'm like, you know what? When the video stopped, I was like, fuck it. I'll just do it tomorrow. Continue where I left off. Now, my next video response will be to the lovely Sydney Watson's newest video, of course. And it's just going to be me beating a dead horse into the ground, metaphorically speaking, but it is what it is. Now that we're off that topic, let's relax for a bit. Get the video going just a little bit longer. If you feel like you're not good enough for someone, chances are they're not good enough for you. And people will feel like they're not good enough when they get rejected. Or when they're told, no, you're not good enough. You're not, And that's just the truth of it, YouTube. It's like, you gotta say to yourself, I am worthy. Women need to get over this fucking assholes phase. You think, okay, And trust me, ladies, you'll be a lot happier when you say to yourself, I don't need that asshole in my life. It is what it is, but that's for another video.